Please come in.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You are SAI ASHRITH Shakhamuri?
Yes, sir.
Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Do I address you as Ashrith?
Yes, sir, please.
Do give us brief introduction, please.
Sir, I am SAI ASHRITH SHAKHAMURI. I have been born and brought up in Warangal. My schooling is over there, sir. And then I have done my civil engineering graduation from BITS Pilani, graduated in 2021, sir. And then I have taken up civil services preparation, sir. My interests are computer gaming, watching TED Talks and singing Telugu songs, sir.
Why is it that with background in civil engineering you have chosen to go in for a civil service career rather than an engineering career?
So from the beginning, even before I have taken up engineering in civil engineering, I have this idea on mind that to take up civil services because of the diversity of job and positive impact it can create and my personal satisfaction, sir. And then after engineering, I have moved for it, sir.
Now, as a civil engineer, can you tell me something about how we measure the intensity of earthquakes and how do we measure the magnitude? What is the difference between these two features?
So the difference between measuring the intensity and magnitude of earthquakes is, sir, the scale used and the destruction caused, sir. The amount of energy released from the earthquake, it is measured by the Richter scale, sir. And Mercalli scale is used to measure the intensity and the damage the earthquake has created on the surface.
So what went wrong in Turkey? What was the reason for the large-scale destruction of buildings?
So there are two causes, sir, in my opinion. One is the natural cause. The city of Turkey happened to stay on exactly on the fault line, sir, where three plates meet. And the earthquakes happened in the night where the rescue forces could not reach fast and do their operations. Whereas man-made, sir, the structural integrity of the building is very poor, sir. Slabs are very thin and the reinforcement bars are very thin. In some buildings there are no beams which connect slabs and the pillars, and the foundation is not deep enough, and there are no cross-braced lattice elements where beams and columns meet, sir. And at the end there is corruption in their system, sir, for which they could not enforce their building laws.
Right. Have you heard of the term rule of law?
Sorry, sir, I have not heard of it.
Okay. There have been some flashpoints recently, domestically and internationally. Let's take up internationally first. Israel, it's undergoing a crisis of sorts. There are lots of public agitation. There's a huge public agitation going on. What reason? And France is the other flashpoint. Tell me the trigger points of these two.
Sir, in Israel, sir, the government of the day has tried to take up some judicial overhaul, where the citizens allege that the government is trying to take away the powers of the judiciary, which are existing now. And that is the flashpoint in Israel, sir. When it comes to France, the president of the France and the existing government are trying to increase the pension superannuation age of the workers from 62 to 64, sir. That is the 65, sir, and out of consensus they have moved down to 64.
And what's happening domestically in Rajasthan?
Sir, in the state of Rajasthan, recently right to health bill has been passed, sir, but some doctors and their associations have agitated, and after that the consensus have been reached, sir, on some agreements.
My final question to you, with respect to the governor's role, there's again been a lot of controversy recently. Would you say that cooperative federalism has given way to confrontational federalism?
Sir, I would not like to completely stand by that statement, sir. In some states it is happening, and that is because the constitutional position of the governor is not exactly demarcated as it is done for the president, sir. For example, in the article 163 clause 2, there is this word mentioned, discretion, and that discretion is being interpreted differently by the state governments and the governor. This is
What exactly is the issue in Tamil Nadu? Let's focus on one particular state. The matter is now pending in the Supreme Court. Are you aware?
Sir, I'm aware of it, sir, but there are many issues between the governor and existing state.
Name one, name the most important.
Sir, if I am able to recall, the governor has passed some remarks on the state government.
That's not the issue before the Supreme Court. The governor is sitting on the bills passed by the legislature. He has neither sent them back nor approved. So that is, they are in limbo, and the state government's contention is that that is creating a constitutional crisis because the voice of the people is not being expressed.
Okay, sir.
Right,
Thank you, sir.
That the bills which are pending, they are as good as dead. So that's a very dangerous sign. Anyway, we were talking about earthquake. So this Delhi area, this whole of NCR is in a very vulnerable area from earthquake point of view. And we have many multi-storied buildings here in this whole Gurgaon, Noida and Delhi. So suppose the precautions which were required as per the earthquake resistance, if they had not been taken earlier, can something be done to reinforce the structures here?
Yes, sir. There are some techniques to strengthen the buildings for even after they are built. They are called retrofitting techniques, sir. The bracing, the shear walls can be developed even after the building is built. Wall thickening can be done. Steel bracing can be added, sir, for the columns and beams. And base dampening systems can be installed even after the building is built, sir.
Okay. Yeah, BITS Pilani is one of the institutions of eminence, no? It's in that category.
Yes, sir.
So, and it has got campuses in other places also apart from Pilani. You studied in Pilani?
Yes, sir. I studied in
Okay.
Pilani.
Now, there is a proposal of government that some foreign universities have been invited. They can come here and open a branch here also. So, do you think the same standard can be maintained, comparing it, say, even with your experience of your college, your institution? You have campuses in other places. So, do you think that BITS Pilani and which are other places which it is there? It's in Goa or some?
Goa and Hyderabad.
Goa and Hyderabad. So, is the same standard being maintained there, or?
Sir, as far as my college is concerned, the same standard is maintained, sir, because the professors get transferred from one place to another after a period of time, sir. So, from the professor's point of view, it is being maintained, sir. But the cutoff marks of the other two campuses are less, and the research output is also a little lesser from the main campus. So, on that point of view, we can say the overall ranking of the other two campuses is a little less than the Pilani campus.
Exactly. So, on the same logic, I was asking, say, suppose Oxford or say Cambridge, if they were to open a campus here, so do you think that the Indian Oxford will be same as that of UK?
Not exactly, sir, but in the beginning it may be less, sir, because it is opening its institute in a developing country where the conditions are different. But from the government point of view, there needs to be enough autonomy with respect to the curriculum, with respect to the fee structure and intake of students and professors, as well as research funding, sir. So, that's how the overall ranking of the institution can be lifted up, even if in the beginning the ranking is less.
Okay. My last question. We have security threats on different fronts. So if I say that there are 2.5 fronts on which there is security threat, can you say which all fronts I am referring to? 2.5 fronts if I say.
Sir, if I can interpret in this way, one from China, one from Pakistan and half from Afghanistan, because we consider it an extended neighbor.
There is no boundary which we have with Afghanistan. You guessed it rightly. Half is from the internal security point of view, the threats which we have. That is also very important. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Would you tell me what is the full form of TED?
Sir, TED is Technology, Engineering and Design, sir.
Technology, Entertainment and Design.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, can you tell 3 civil wonders?
So 3 civil wonders I would say is
of India. Recent civil wonders of India.
so if I can take the recent ones, Chenab Bridge, which is on the Baramulla, Udhampur and Srinagar link of railways.
What is the height of Chenab Bridge?
It is nearly 359 meters, sir.
Okay, what else?
Sir, Kaleshwaram project in the state of Telangana, sir, and Atal tunnel in the Rotang Pass, near the Rotang Pass, sir.
Okay. And we are making one more tunnel in Ladakh.
So if I can remember, it is Zojila tunnel, sir.
Rojila tunnel. Okay. So Andhra Pradesh, they are wanting too many capitals. How many capitals they are talking of?
So, the government of Andhra Pradesh has been talking of 3 capitals, sir, but now they moved to 1 capital, which is Visakhapatnam, sir. They are developing there.
They've come back to one at
They are not
Visakhapatnam.
completely moved, sir, but they are trying to move to that 1 capital. The official statement has come from the government, sir.
Okay. But what was the idea? 3 capitals for what?
Sir, the official statement, according to the official reason, sir, they want to develop their state on the lines of South Africa, which has multiple capitals, and they wanted it for decentralized development, sir, in the region. The executive capital is going to be in Visakhapatnam, the legislative is going to be in Amaravati, and the judicial capital in Kurnool, sir.
So what is the negative and positive of that? Tell the negative.
Sir, negatives is the logistics, sir, and it is going to take much more cost rather than building a capital at one place because of the infrastructure needed to move, sir.
Yeah, logistics wise, the bureaucrat has to be present
Yes.
in the court, and he is also to be present in the lobby of the legislature. So where would the bureaucrat go? I mean, they will be shuttling all the time and things will be disrupted.
Yes, sir.
But one state has its legislature at one place and rest of the civil secretariat at one place. Which other state has this?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm unaware of this fact.
Maharashtra. The legislature sits at Nagpur, and Mumbai is otherwise the capital.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And there's one state which moves the capital every year, summer capital and winter capital. Which one?
Sir, I'm unaware, sir. If you allow me, I can take a guess.
Yes, why not?
Sir, is it Himachal Pradesh?
Yes. Which are the 2 capitals?
So one is Shimla, sir, and the other I'm not aware, sir.
Dharamshala.
Okay, sir.
Shimla is the summer capital or winter capital?
Shimla is the summer capital, sir.
Yeah. Okay. It was summer capital of who before that?
Sir, in the past, Britishers have chosen that as summer capital, sir,
Yeah.
because of similarity.
Okay,
in
one
weather.
thing I was quite perplexed. Why farmers' agitation did not happen in the south? What went wrong?
So farmers' agitation. Sir, in my opinion, with the present existing structure of the laws, the people who are benefiting from the present existing structure is the people in the region of Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP, sir. And therefore, when the changes in the laws have come, they are the ones agitated in the borders of Delhi.
So, what is it that benefits here and that does not affect there? That means the central government is discriminating.
No, sir.
Then
The reforms which have been brought by the central government, sir, they have already been introduced in the state of Punjab. For example, contract farming, sir, in the past only. So they are already being benefited. And for example, sir, presently the Food Corporation of India procurement is mostly done in this region, sir. So
okay.
So if the
That means South should be protesting more.
So there is also a political color to this agitation.
No, political color you can paint anywhere. That is your last escape. But that means South should be protesting. That they don't do procurement. They should say, come and do procurement from us. There's something else, you know. What crop do they grow there?
In south, in my state, sir.
Yeah.
Paddy, sir. Paddy, cotton, sugarcane,
Yeah, cash crops.
cotton, turmeric, chilies.
These are all cash crops.
Sir.
Whereas here these are not cash crops, so that is the difference. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Ashrith,
Ma'am.
what is India's Act East policy? Are you aware?
Yes, ma'am. I'm basically aware of it.
Some points, main points about it.
I'm integrating more with the Southeast Asian economies economically, and making use of our cultural capital over there to build people-to-people relations.
What is the cultural capital over there?
Ma'am, previously there are traces of Hinduism, ma'am.
Where?
In Cambodia, the largest temple presently is in Cambodia, and Indonesian kings and queens are named after Indian sounding names. For example, if I can say Megawati Sukarnoputri. And one of the Southeast Asian states have their national airlines as Garuda Airlines.
That's Indonesia.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you. We want to harness that cultural capital, and with growing influence of China over that region, we want to maintain our relationship as well.
So that's Act East. But is there some other motive as well?
I'm aware of this much only, ma'am. I'll look into
Read
it.
up a little bit more.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have been hearing a lot about UN security reforms, Security Council reforms, and in general about how ineffective the UN has become over the years. So a little bit about that, if you can tell me.
Ma'am, there are
What was the original, when was it set up, why do we have the UN at all? What was the essential reason for setting it up?
United Nations was first set up after the Second World War, ma'am, to deal with the global security concerns and global community problems. But there are only 5 permanent powers who have the veto power, ma'am. And because of one of the reasons is misuse of the veto and internal contradictions among the P5 members. On many issues, decisions could not have been taken. For example, there is no definition of terrorism. Even in the recent times, the Russia-Ukraine war could not be acted upon by the UNSC.
Why?
There have been continuous vetoing of resolutions from the Russian and Chinese side, ma'am, because they are also P5 members. And one reason...
they are the perpetrators, so to speak, in a way.
Yes, ma'am.
And previous wars also, one of the P5 members was involved, usually.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so then they veto anything that comes up before
against them. So, and countries like India and the countries Japan, which are not represented in the P5, who have the will to contribute to the peace towards international arena, they are trying to get into the P5, ma'am, and we need some multilateral.
They're trying to get in. Who will allow them to get in the sense, how are they trying? What are they doing?
We have been trying to engage with the P5, ma'am. Even
to do what?
Before, so that they would not veto a resolution if India wants to enter. And in the UNGA also,
we want to reform the UN system. Even other multilateral organizations and institutions need to be reformed because they don't represent today's reality, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that reform, under that reform, are you aware what some of the proposals are and what India's proposal along with these other countries is?
I know a few, ma'am. Global South, for example, Africa and Latin America, India have to be represented there, and veto can be used only for specific purposes, not all the time. And a veto,
who will tell them? Who will tell the people? Veto people don't do this, don't do that. They are the sort of supreme. What needs to be done in the whole system? Reform is required, right?
Yes, ma'am. In the, if I can say, ma'am, UNGA should be able to pass a resolution to overturn the veto if they have a big majority.
Okay. Let's see if it happens in the future. Good idea. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, SAI. What is you understand the word recession?
Sir, recession is fall in the productivity of a country or a nation. GDP decrease, sir.
technically, how can we say the country is in recession, the economy is in recession? Any definition of that? Any data points we use to say that?
So there are, sir, but I'm unable to recall at this moment.
What do you understand by stagflation?
So stagflation is a situation where a country faces stagnant growth or declining growth along with inflation.
No, inflation. Which is worse? Stagflation is worse or recession is worse?
Sir, I'm unable to comment at this point.
Give it a pause. What is tax to GDP ratio of country? Tax GDP ratio.
Of our country? I'm not aware of the statistics, sir.
Not aware of statistics. What is the tax base of our country?
Sorry, sir, I have no idea.
No idea. Recently, our foreign minister gave statement in the parliament that many HNI and ultra HNI peoples are leaving India, renouncing Indian citizenship and taking foreign citizenship on investment visas. What can be the reasons of increasing? The number has increased in the last 1 year, doubled rather 1 year. What can be the reason of rich people leaving India?
Sir, if I can tell, I'm able to think of two reasons, sir. One, better investment opportunities and to hoard their wealth in some other countries, and secondly, better quality of life, sir.
Okay. There was one very famous line said by some important politician: if you cultivate snakes in your backyard, you can't think that they will not come and bite you. Who said, where and why?
I've heard of that statement, sir, but I don't know who said it, sir. I should read about it.
What do you understand by strategic depth?
I should read about it, sir. I'm unaware.
What do you understand by deep state?
So deep state is a extra state mechanism which takes decisions apart from the existing state, sir. It is seen in Pakistan.
Have you heard of vibrant villages?
Yes, sir.
What are the vibrant villages?
So vibrant villages are the villages on the borders of the country. So recently we are trying to develop through vibrant villages program. We have multiple benefits, sir. One, development of the region. So there would be the people in that region will be more patriotic towards India. Secondly, the development in that region, sir. So the villagers or the people themselves will act as security for the country in the borders. And secondly, and third point, tourism will develop in that region.
Fine. See, there is a quote that if you get something free, then you are the product. What do you mean by that?
I'm sorry, sir. Can I?
If you get something free, then you are the product.
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, one last question. US Fed meeting has started. Today they are supposed to start and they will announce their policy in next 2 days on 12th. What would you suggest to do to US Fed in this policy announcement in next 2 days?
So if I can suggest, I would try to tell them that they should not increase the interest rates anymore and pause it for a moment, and to deal with inflation they have to take some other initiatives.
Why would you suggest that?
Sir,
what reason you would give them to agree to your suggestion?
So because of the interest rates hikes in recent past, many banks have been collapsed, sir. I mean, direct and indirect reasons, sir, and which may have repercussions on the entire world and in the globe. So especially in the looming fears of recession, for that not to happen, I'll advise this, sir.
You advise them to follow our RBI. Okay, fine, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Ashrith, this brings us to the end of our formal interaction. When is your interview?
So it's on April 27th, sir.
So you have 17 days to go. What is your self-assessment? How did the interview go?
So my preparation was more towards my DAF, and I was lacking on the current affairs part.
I would say that, the areas which are within your comfort zone, you're very good. And when you are taken out of your comfort zone, that's where the lack of preparation shows. But not to worry, very simple way to, we'll give you some practical tips. But prior to that, some general observations. The first thing is that you have to recognize it's not a test of your knowledge, it's a test of your personality and more particularly of your officer-like qualities. So they are looking at integrity, so no bluffing, no guessing, awareness of yourself, your state, nation, the world, your self-confidence and poise, so there will be ups and downs, whether you are able to take that in your stride, quick thinking, conceptual clarity, lucidity of expression, and whether you have balanced opinions, all these come into the mix. Let me start with the basics though. Grooming is very important, so you'll need to have a good haircut and you'll need to be fully shaved. Morning or evening session, which one is it?
Morning sessions.
So please go there looking your best, and that impression you make should be the best impression as you come in. I would suggest you take about 50 of these A4 size sheets and think of the possible questions that will come your way. They come from your DAF, current affairs, job if any, and your subject.
Yes, sir.
So make about 125 of these questions, make it into a question bank, and for each question, each topic, do a deep dive, very careful study encompassing all the dimensions. Once you've done that, make some bullet points in order of importance and then use them, not to memorize them, but to internalize them. Make them part of your thinking process. And you need to just broad base your preparation to encompass some routine questions like rule of law. It's something which occurs on a daily basis.
Sir, I heard it differently, sir. I heard it as root of law.
Okay.
Okay.
And then keep abreast of things like Tamil Nadu,
Yes, sir.
what is the situation with the governor and so on. And towards the end, you seem to have completely lost steam, and the honorable member was asking you a whole lot of questions, and you seem to have in fact lost interest. You kept saying, I don't know. See, towards the end, it's very important to keep that momentum.
Okay, sir.
So be careful about that. So once you've got hold of all these topics and completely mastered them, sit in front of a mirror and practice. There's no shortcut to that. Practice makes perfect.
Yes, sir.
Or you can ask somebody to videotape you.
Yes, sir.
So I think with all this, you would be in a very good position. And when you go there, you should be completely relaxed. Your mind should be free of any tension or worry, and your attitude should be very positive one. I'm going to ace this interview, and that's when you will ace it. Huh?
Yes,
Which
sir.
newspapers are you reading?
I'm reading Hindu, and I'm following some YouTube channels, sir. First Post, Sunset TV.
Good. So as I said, you just need to broad base your preparation a little bit, and you'll be good to go.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from you, or anybody from the members may like to add?
Just that you kept saying, in my opinion. I think that was jarring a bit, at least to me. So don't keep saying, in my opinion.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, just start with whatever you've been asked your opinion.
Okay, ma'am.
And as Honorable Chair has said, be very practice a great deal, so you'll be more precise and you'll be able to answer correctly. Practice, and all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Add one finance paper. Your finance side is weak.
Yes, sir.
Read more about it.
Thank you, sir.
You can see the website, thebetterindia.com. It will give you a lot of ideas.
Thank you very much, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Best of luck.
All the
Thank
best.
you, ma'am.
You'll do well.